If you want to feel more calm, confident, and connected in your life, the Love Your Real Life membership is for you. Members love the simple daily challenges that help create small, consistent actions that lead to the change that they want. And then the live sessions that are throughout the month that leave them feeling grounded, relaxed, and supported. There's a link in the show notes to join. I would love to see you inside of this membership. Welcome to the Love Your Real Life podcast. I'm Faith Lauterbach, and this is a space to help you heal, rebuild, and create a life you truly love, even if it looks different than you imagined. Each week, I'll be sharing tools, encouragement, and real conversations about what it means to move forward after betrayal, heartbreak, or simply life not going as planned. I am honored to walk alongside you and help you love your real life. I'm so excited about today's episode. I am interviewing the lovely and wonderful Sarah Collins. So let me tell you, I met Sarah through a local networking group here in Lincoln, Nebraska, and I was immediately drawn to her energy. She has one of those personalities that makes you feel welcome and seen and just excited. Every conversation that I've had with her, I feel inspired and encouraged. And so I was really excited to invite her on to the podcast. Let me tell you a little bit about her. She is a Gallup-Certified Clifton Strengths Coach. She's a speaker and the founder of Collins Collective, which is a leadership development company based here in Nebraska, but she works with people all over the place. For more than a decade, Sarah has helped leaders, teams, and organizations focus on what's strong, build meaningful relationships, and then create environments where people can thrive. She is also now the creator of the Good Energy Club, which is a movement built around a simple but powerful belief. When you control your energy, you control your outcomes. Through her work, she helps reconnect people with joy, fun, presence, and human connection in a world that often feels too busy, overwhelming, and disconnected. In today's conversation, we're exploring what it really means to create good energy in our lives, why fun matters more than we often realize, and then we'll also go over simple techniques to do this in your own life. Sarah is a wife, she's a mom of 3, a lover of dance parties, same girl, personality assessments, and fountain Coke in a glass bottle. Love that. She's passionate about helping people build lives that they don't need a vacation from. I think you're going to love her perspective as much as I do. So let's dive into today's conversation with Sarah Collins. Welcome, Sarah. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes, thank
We're
you
going to
for
get
having
started.
me, Faith.
I'm so excited. For listeners who may not know you yet, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and the work that you do?
Yeah, so I am a facilitator by trade. I am a coach and I'm a speaker. What all that means is I'm a big yapper. I love learning and sharing knowledge with people and helping people grow to be their best selves. I utilize the Gallup-Clifton Strengths Assessment in much of the work that I do. I work with individuals, but most of my work is inside organizations, working with teams or for a small business, their whole organization, helping leverage the talent so people can go from good to great. So I really believe in the philosophy that every person should experience excellence. And the way we experience our own excellence is by doubling down on our natural God given talents. And so the Gallup-Clifton Strengths Assessment helps us uncover what those talents are so we can be strategic about how we actually get the best out of ourselves and our teammates. And then through all of this work that I do with teams and organizations, I have developed the Good Energy Club, which is a keynote that really came out of COVID about energy, and it was an exploration of myself of, is energy just like who we are? Are we just lucky to be, like, extroverted? Or, do we have any control over it? And so I went on sort of a personal exploration to figure out how energy is created. Do we have any power over it? And I obviously discovered, yes, we do. So I go now to conferences and organizations and talk to people about having good energy and how to build it.
That's awesome. You have great energy, Sarah. That is for sure. Us talking about that phrase, good energy, and your good energy club, what does that mean to you exactly?
Yeah. Well, I think I'll actually go and tell you a little bit more about how it came to be to help you understand it because you just made the comment that I had good energy. And I agree with you. Like that has been a thing that people have said to me my whole life. And if anyone knows anything about Gallup-Clifton Strengths, I have positivity and woo and communication. And those are strengths that are typically good energy strengths, if you will. So I have operated most of my life thinking like I am just a good energy person. I am just lucky to be able to show up and turn it on. It's part of my talents and my personality. However, during COVID, when obviously the world was like shut down and we were all like trapped in our homes, I also had 3 small babies. So we had our son and then 18 months later we had twins. And so I was in the hardest season of motherhood. And the combination of having 3 babies, which is 16,000 diapers, I have done the math, and having the world shut down and all the things that we know kind of like close in on us, it sort of swiped me of my spark. So that energy that you see, I feel like I lost it during that season. And for me, that was a real identity shakeup. Because if I'm not a good energy person, then what am I? Who am I? How do I operate in the world? And I didn't like that feeling of not showing up, especially because I was in my home with my children, the most important people for me. And I felt like I was failing them because I couldn't even show up as my best self. And so that's when I went on this exploration. I started reading books and listening to podcasts and talking to people about happiness, fulfillment, engagement, all of these things, that sort of make up that quote unquote good energy. And what I discovered was that good energy is not a personality trait that you either have or you don't, but it is a practice and it is something that you build every day. And so to me, what good energy is, it is showing up, being really present with people in the moment. It is showing up, looking at the bright side of things. It is your attitude. It is your vibe. It is your presence in the room. If you're connecting with people and seeing them and letting them see you. And so it's not necessarily a big, bubbly, excited personality. It is someone who is really there with you. And I think about if you go into any room with people who's, like, really there. They might be like me and loud and happy, but they might not be, and yet they still are showing up, present and connected and curious and interested in you. And so that's really what good energy is. It's this ability to walk into a room, whether it's in your house and you're by yourself, in your house with your family, in a conference room with your coworkers, or in a stadium full of 85,000 people for a game, and being able to have people look at you and be like, whoa, that person has something. And what I discovered is anybody can do that. It just takes consistent action on a daily basis.
Yeah. Well, we are big about talking about that action on a consistent basis here on this podcast, too. So that is right up our alley. I love it. So I know you talked about this a little bit about what inspired you to create this work, but I'm curious, like, is there something deeper than that? Like, was there a season of your own life that really led you to this?
Yeah, it's really what I was saying of the pandemic and having the 3 kids and having to go on this personal exploration. I mean, when you start to lose your spark, your shine, it's not like overnight. It's not like you wake up one day and you're like, "Oh my god, it's gone." It sort of slowly deteriorates, I think. At least for me, that's how it happened. It was a slow thing, so I didn't realize it was happening right away. And then it was like one morning I woke up and I was just sort of like, why am I feeling this way? Like, I feel so lost. I feel so empty. I feel so devoid of that good energy. And I said to my husband in the morning, I was like, I think something is like happening to me. Like, I don't feel like myself. And he, was very understanding of like, okay, like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I don't know, but I think I need to like get out of our house, which sounds so simple now. But during the pandemic, if y'all remember, people were not getting out of their houses.
Yeah.
He was like, "Okay, what about, like, Friday night? You can have every Friday night as yours." And we are, like, in the throes of small children, like, when one person leaves, you're like, "Okay, that's fine, you're leaving, when are you coming back?" So, it was a very generous thing for him to offer, but my immediate response was, "No, I can't do that." And he was like, "Why not?" And I was like, "Because Saturday morning, these kids don't sleep in, they might be up at 4, 5, 6 o'clock, and I am, like, default parent, I'm gonna get up with them, so the idea of even staying out till, like, 8 p.m. makes me wanna cry." Because of Saturday morning. And, bless his heart, he didn't even think of that, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, I'll just wake up with them on Saturday mornings, and we'll just let you sleep in." And I was like, "Okay, like, this could work." And so when I first started doing this, again, it was like a, you know, virtual book club, but eventually, things open up a little bit and you go to a friend's house for dinner, and I started just kinda getting back in the world, and really what that was connection. That's what now in the Good Energy Club, we have the spark system, and one of the pillars of it is connection, and that's what I realized. I didn't know it at the time, that's what I was engaging in, but that is what it was, is that I was really devoid of connection, and that's what that season gave to me. So it was inadvertently running experiments on my life, but the more I got into this, the more I was running more experiments on, my life of like, if I do this, what happens? If I do this, how do I feel? If I do this, what do I feel? And so I just started sharing it. I had a small group come to me and say, "We want to hire you to come talk to our people, but we don't need Clifton Strengths. We just need a one-time thing." But really, everyone is like not doing well, and we just need your energy. That was what they said. And so it kind of clicked for me. This is how a lot of my talks come up is I was like, well, I'm kind of doing this thing in my personal life. You're literally saying you see something in me you want because I've now kind of gotten it back. I just told the gal, I'm like, do you trust me? I have this idea for a talk. I'm going to call it the Good Energy Club. Again, I don't know where that even name came from. It just was like why I called it a club. Again, but I was just like, I feel like this is a group of people who wanna, like, go and show up different, so we're gonna call it a club, the Good Energy Club, and I'm gonna build it based on what I've learned. Do you trust me? And she was like, "Yeah." So I went and did it there, and then anytime a group would come and say, "Do you have something that could kind of feed into us?" I would be like, "Yeah, I have this talk called the Good Energy Club." So I've been doing it now for 4 years probably, and it's just kind of grown as something that I do more and more because even though we are out of the pandemic, the world is still not okay. Like things are still really hard. And that's one of the things that's awesome about the Good Energy Club is it's not meant for the good times only. It is meant
Mhm.
to get us through the hard times, be it in our own lives or in the world. Gas prices, grocery prices, war, civil unrest. I mean, the list goes on and on if you want to turn on the news. It's hard to show up as your best self if you're engaging with all of the terrible, hard things that happen in the world. And yet, it is imperative that you show up as your best self for the people around you and for the world. So, how do you do that?
Yeah. Yeah, I love that, and I love the word club. I think that that's about connection, really. You were right on calling it a club. What do you think makes it difficult for people to fully engage in their own life right now? I know we talked a little bit you talked a little bit about the news, yes, for sure. Any other things that you feel like is keeping people from that connection and engagement?
Yeah, I think it is access to technology and our devices. So in the Good Energy Club, we have the Spark system, and it is initially action, like you have to do something. And what we're doing is the three pillars are connection, presence, and joy. And presence in the Good Energy Club, I wish it meant like mindfulness and awareness, but of course, some of that's good. But what I really mean in the Good Energy Club is you need to get off your freaking phone. And I think that is the thing robbing us of so much connection, so much joy, so much of this is we are constantly on our phones. And I see it every day. In my car, driving anywhere, everyone is looking at their phone at a stoplight and maybe more. Going to the dentist, every single person is on the phone. You know, everywhere I go, people are looking down. They're not looking out at each other, they're looking down at the screen. It is robbing us of our humanity. So, are you consuming news? Are you comparing yourself with people with perfect houses and perfect families and unlimited money and unlimited vacations, right? And then thinking, like, oh, I'm not as good. It is the constant tuning into technology that I think is robbing us of the ability to see each other, connect with each other, recognize each other, find joy in each other. And if you ask anyone right now to do anything, to go to lunch with you, to join a committee with you, to do anything, I bet 9 out of 10 people will tell you they're too busy. And I challenge you to ask them, what's your screen time? You're too busy to do the
Mhm.
things that matter in life, but your screen time is at 4, 5, 6, 7 hours a day. That is a mixed priorities, and I don't blame people. I have this in the Good Energy Club because I struggle with it too. The phone is addicting, the dopamine hit. It's literally designed to keep us on it, and it's
Mhm.
working, but that is a battle that I want to engage in every day, is can I help myself get off of my device? I heard someone the other day on a podcast call instead of dopamine, slopamine, slow dopamine. Can you find
I love
slopamine?
it.
And actually, plant your garden, right? Talk to
Mhm.
your neighbor out on the front step, just go out to the grocery store and don't pull your phone out once. Actually make a paper list. And then when you're in line, look at somebody in the eye, smile at someone. These small, honestly, seemingly so simple things people aren't doing anymore.
Mhm. Yeah, that's so true. I love this spark system that you have shared a little bit about. So I would love for us to get into what that is. What you talked a little bit about starts with action, and
Mhm.
then there's the 3 pillars.
Yes. So when I was going through this journey, I realized that so much that was impeding me having good energy was overthinking, overcomplicating, hesitating, waiting for the right moment. And I think so much of our success in this world comes from action. Just do it anyways. I don't want to get up and go to work. Just do it anyways. I don't want to get up when my alarm goes off. Just do it anyways. You need that push, that action of just doing it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be thought out. You just need to do something, especially when it comes to good energy. I think most of us, me in particular, if I wake up and I'm just feeling low, and this has happened before. At the end of last year, I was invited to MC the Lincoln Chamber of Commerce Celebrate Business event. There's over 700 people that come to this event, and they really hired me for my energy to be able to come up and introduce the winners and, make it a real celebratory affair. I woke up that day and I just didn't feel it. Not for any reason. Nothing bad was happening in my life. The world wasn't crumbling. I just woke up. I felt kind of nasally and just kind of sad and mopey. We're just girls. Sometimes that happens. And I'm immediately panicked because I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to go and speak at this big event and have energy. And I am not feeling it. And so I really was like, okay, can I do it? Can I use these tactics from the Good Energy Club? And I got my kids ready, got them off to school, and I came home and I made the mistake of doing what most people do, where I picked up my phone and I let that dopamine just roll into me. And I bet I sat there for 45 minutes scrolling because I was not feeling it. And guess what? Afterwards, I didn't feel it even more. I felt worse.
Yeah.
And I'm like, girl, what are you doing? Get off of the phone. It's not making you feel better. It's just making you want to bed rot all day. And if you're going to be able to turn it on later, you're going to need to make a change. So I use a device called the Brick because, again, I'm addicted to my phone like everyone else. And so the Brick is this gray little thing that says Brick, and you can set it to lock anything on your phone, and you can't unlock it until you have the Brick with you. So it puts some physical separation between you and the things on your phone that make it suck or suck you in. And so I bricked all of my social media. I was like, "Girl, you can't get into these anymore. This is ruining your day." And then I was like, "Okay, action. What's the next step?" We bricked our phone. We can't get into that. Okay, we've got presents checked. What's the next thing? I was like, "I have to go connect with people." And I like had this like botched nail job. And I felt really nervous about going to the nail salon and asking them because I'm kind of a people pleaser. But I was like, I have to go do this. Not only to like fix my nails so I feel better about my appearance for this big event, but also because there will be people there. I don't even know these people, but just getting with people as opposed to letting myself be alone in my house is going to help. And it did. I went to the nail salon. Of course, they were nice about it. And I sat there and I talked to them. There was people around. It like fueled me up. Okay, joy. How do I find that? Well, I'm like, I was volunteering in my son's classroom during this time. So I got ready and I went to my son's second grade classroom. I have like, 20 some second graders there. We're talking about community. I mean, it's so hard to not have joy when all these little kids, and by this time they all knew me. So like they gave me hugs and stuff. And it so worked. It was like getting off my phone, getting some connection, finding small moments of joy. By the time I went to the event, I was just ready to go. I was amped up. And I know if I hadn't taken that first action step, which was blocking all of the social media on my phone so I couldn't just sit there and rot away all day, I could not have shown up with the good energy that I was literally hired for. And so that's the spark system, is whether you can do all three or just one, if you want to feed into how you feel and how you show up, then you need to find a way to take action around finding or making joy, being present, which means being off your phone, and getting some connection with real people in real life as close as possible. That is going to fuel you whether you're the most extroverted or the most introverted person. Even introverts need each other. So this goes for all personality types.
Yeah. Okay, so we have presence, connection, finding or making joy.
Mhm. That's exactly right.
That does sound like magic. I love it. And the brick device is genius.
It is. It is really genius. A friend actually bought it for me. I didn't even buy it myself, but she knew at the time, she knew I was just deleting all of the apps from my phone, re-downloading them. And so she was like, "Here, I got this, and I got you one too." And it was the best thing ever because it's faster, and it also keeps track of how many hours you're bricked. So it kind of gamifies it in a way because you can see how long you're bricking for. And you can change. Some people, it's their emails. Some people, it's Twitter or X, whatever you call it. Some people, it's Instagram or TikTok or Snapchat. You can decide what to brick. And then you can essentially make your phone a phone where it just like calls people and gets text messages. Or if
Yeah.
text messages are your problem, you could brick that too. But essentially, it just allows you the peace of like, I can't get into it. And I even have done, we went on a family vacation once, for almost a full week, and I didn't wanna be on my phone at all during that time, so I bricked my phone before we left, and I left the brick at my house. So when I took the phone on
Oh, wow.
vacation, there's no way to get around it. I think you have, like, 5 times that you can bypass it without the physical brick, like, in your lifetime. So it's like you
Mm.
really cannot get into it, and I don't even know how to bypass it, and so it's just like, if you wanna go to work or go to a meeting or go to a coffee or a lunch with your friends, you just brick your phone at home and leave the brick at home so you cannot get into it when you're out. It's like I always say, we need to use our phone as a tool, not a toy. I'm not saying get rid of your phone. I'm not saying only have a landline. Like, the phone is great, right? I love to be able to work from anywhere. I like to be connected, and I love Instagram. and I use it for my business, but I need to use it as a tool that serves me, and I don't need to be a slave to it where I'm just engaging with it because I'm like a child going back for more sugar, like this like hit,
Yep.
hit, hit, hit. It's literally killing us. I really do think someday people that are kids now, when they grow up, they're gonna look at the cell phone usage of their parents like I look at my parents smoking cigarettes. Like,
Yeah.
my parents grew up I grew up with parents that smoked, and now I'm like, "Oh my god. Can you imagine? I grew up in a house full of smoke, like, disgusting. How could they? Ugh." My kids are gonna be like, "I grew up in a house with 2 parents who were constantly on their phone. Can you imagine? Oh, disgusting."
I love it. So yeah, I think that those are just great things to remember, coming back to those pillars, and I think having something that you can be like, I'm feeling a certain way, I'm feeling low energy, I'm feeling like I still want to get out of bed, or I don't want to go to work, or I don't want to go to this event that I'm signed up for. And knowing that you can come to this system and pick one of those things.
Mhm.
It
That's
makes it
exactly
so
right.
simple and doable. So most of my listeners, I would say, are women. Like, I guess, what do you think happens to adults, especially women, that makes fun or joy feel like unimportant or like something that is not for them?
Yeah, we got a lot of shit to do. Like, at the end of the day, that's just it. I get it. Like, I own a business, I have 3 kids, I have a husband that sometimes feels like another child in my house. I have laundry to do, vacations to plan, birthday presents to buy. I mean, you name it, the list is long. And many women are just high achievers. They just are like, they have had success because they are good at being good. And
Mhm.
so the idea of having fun, it's like a reward. Oh, when we get to this vacation, then it'll be better. Once I get this promotion, then I can relax. Once I do this, and the truth is, like, 1, what a terrible way to live. Like, we're just always putting this carrot on a stick in front of us, and then how many times do you just skip it altogether? You're like, "Ugh, you know what? I did get the promotion, but god, now I'm so busy and it's the holiday season. We'll just put off that party or that celebratory dinner. Like, I'm just too busy to do it." And I get it. I think that is true. We are too busy. And yet, fun, joy, they are the fuel that keep you going. They are not the things that get in the way of your success. They're the things that make life worth living. And so, a lot of the things we talk about in the Good Energy Club when it comes to joy and fun is make it easy and make it small. I actually, in my keynote, do a lot of minute to win it games because they take like minutes. That's the whole point of a minute to win it
Mhm.
is it's a minute. And again, look at your screen time and then tell me you don't have a minute, right?
Right.
And we've been doing this with our kids. So, like, our kids are at a great age. Our twins are 6 and our son is 8. We have so many games. And my husband has just started this thing where he started to play a game with the kids in the morning. That might sound really ambitious, but these games, they don't take that long. He might play a game around a Go Fish. We have like Sleeping Queens, like all these like little games. As a busy mother, when my kids say, "Hey, can you play a game with me?" My first reaction is always to be like, "Oh my god, no. Do I have to? Like, I have to make dinner. Like, stop. Get off my back." And then I have to remember, this is literally their childhood, and this is fun for me too. Like, just take the time. And so again, it's that action. The trigger is just saying yes, right? Will you jump on the trampoline with me? Yeah, I might pee my pants, but sure. Okay. Like, we'll do it. And so it's not planning a big trip to an amusement park. I mean, it can be that, but it doesn't have to be. It can be these little tiny pockets of things that just light us up. What I love is in the Good Energy Club with the Spark system, each thing kind of pours into each other. So, like, if you're looking for joy, you usually have to be with other people. Like, fun
Mhm.
almost never happens in isolation. Joy might, but fun really needs other people. So then you're getting connection too. And if you're really connecting with people, you're probably not on your phone, so you're getting presents. And so it's like there's this sort of like these fountains or these pitchers that kind of pour into each other. Like if you can do one of these, you can probably do the other ones too. And so it's just reminding yourself and getting in the habit of saying yes and also planning it. Like, okay, go to dinner with your girlfriends. Put it on the calendar. I know sometimes it's like, hey, can you meet in 5 weeks? Sometimes it doesn't have to be perfect though. And I think that's the other thing is it's great. I love to go to dinner with my girlfriends, go to a concert, but we also have to get comfortable and like not having it be big and fancy. Like, why not? Can you just like come over on a Thursday night for an hour and sit in my messy house with me?
Mhm.
Like, we've kind of lost the art of like a regular, non planned, just connected hangout that isn't like, I've made a 3-course meal with a matching tablecloth. Like, girl, no, we're just like gonna have chicken nuggets from the air fryer. And, like, I have a bottle of wine from Trader Joe's that's, like, half gone, but, like, you wanna just come over?
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I think that, like, in this world of, like, the Pinterest, girls' night, like, so curated everything. Yeah, just kind of getting into it, like, let's just get together and have some chicken nuggets and some wine.
That's
I love
exactly
that.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. I, have, like, heard this term, the invisible labor of that women carry, and it sounds like this is one of those reasons that women typically don't have time for fun, or maybe they plan other people's fun. But it's
Mhm.
not for them. But
Yes.
it comes into that invisible labor of the laundry, the managing of schedules, the doctor's appointments, the birthday present buying, and all of that. So just kind of bringing that awareness to that of like fun is for everyone. Fun is for
Absolutely.
everyone.
We actually did just plan a trip. We went on a trip to Orlando. We did, like, a one big hurrah, took our kids to Disney and Universal Studios, and, of course, I was the planner. I used one of the Disney travel agents, but I was really the, mastermind. And it was really stressful. People before the trip kept asking me, "Are you so excited for Disney?" And I was like, "I'm so excited for it to be over," to be honest,
Yeah.
because it's been so much work. But once we got there, I made a commitment to myself that I was going to experience the fun with my family and not just be the planner of the fun. And so
Mhm.
that meant saying yes. And I didn't know. I was like, "Can I even do rides anymore? It's been a long time since I've been on a roller coaster. Can my 39-year-old brain even handle this?" But I was like, "We're gonna try it." And I bought, like, the Dramamine and all the things just in case. And I did. I said yes. And the one of the things that stands out particularly is we were at Universal Studios. There's this big, like, Velocicoaster roller coasters, like, one of the top roller coasters in the world, and it does, like, this upside down, all this stuff. And a lot of my girls were too short to get on it, and we had another dad with us that was pretty adventure, focused, but he was like, "I don't think I can do that roller coaster. I think it's too much." But my son, my 8-year-old, he wanted to do it, and my husband was like, "I think I can't handle it. Like, we're just too old to do some of this." But my son was like, "I want to do this roller coaster." And so I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna do it with you." And I did, and it's, like, one of my best memories. It's just me and him on the roller coaster, and now he's like, "My mom went with me on this roller coaster, it was awesome," and, like, the joy and the memory that he has and that I have, and I mostly was fear because I was like, "Don't fall out, don't let my kid be the kid that falls out of this roller coaster." But, like, we did it, and it was fun, and we got off, and we were, like, laughing, and we're talking about, like, being upside down and all this stuff, and it's like, I get that now for the rest of my life, for the rest of his life, the memory of it. And it was just because I was like, "Yeah, let's do it. Let's go." And I just let myself laugh and enjoy it, and it's like, how many times have we stopped ourselves from that? Like, "Oh, we don't have time. Oh, no one wants to do it. Oh, I'm just the mom. I need" No, like, just what if you just said yes?
Yeah. What if you just said yes? I like that. So what do you think like are signs that we may have lost touch with fun? Like maybe we're not even aware that like we've stopped having fun, but maybe we could relate to some signs.
Well, I think the first thing, and I would say all the people listening, I want you to think about the last time you had fun. And I'm not talking about, like, I'm talking about, like, your face hurts from laughing so much, like, big belly laughs, like, you lost track of time because you were having so much fun. When was it?
Mhm.
And I would bet all of you who are thinking of something, I bet you weren't scrolling on your phone. I bet that didn't come up.
Mhm.
I bet it wasn't binging off campus on Netflix. Like, I bet it wasn't, 6 hours in front of the television. But when was it? And, like, real fun, not just, like, passive fun. And I will talk to people about, like, a concert can be fun, but is it, like, fun, you know? And that doesn't mean we shouldn't go to things that aren't just, like, fun, but, like, I am talking about, like, actual laughing, connecting with people, being a little bit playful and goofy. There's this great book that I use for a bunch of my material inside the Good Energy Club called The Power of Fun by Catherine Price, and she is an educator and a scientist and studied fun. And she says that to have true fun, you have to have playfulness, connection, and flow. And so if you really think about when was the last time you had a moment of playfulness, connection, and flow? Because again, fun almost never happens alone. You have to be able to be a little goofy. And like you got to get into that flow cycle where time is kind of escaping. And if you are just waiting for it to happen, it probably isn't. And I think the older you get, the less likely it's going to just happen to you.
Mhm.
And there's lots of reasons for that. You don't allow yourself to be playful. You're not even connecting with new people as much, and they're not setting it up. Like my kids right now are going to camp. Guess what they do every day at camp? They play games with each other, right? They set up things. Yeah, these kids are having fun all day, but it's really intentional because they know these kids got a lot of energy. Like, we're going to play card games. We're going to play sports. We're going to climb a rock wall. We're going to, whatever. But are you doing that in your own life?
Yeah.
Most of us aren't because, again, we're so busy. I get it. Like, we come from this at a good place. Me too, girl. It's just we
Right.
have to make it a priority because when you do fun, connection, presence, and you change your energy changes your outcomes in this world.
Mhm.
If you want to live a fuller life, if you want more meaning in your life, if you want the promotion, if you want to nail that sales pitch, if you just want to show up and impress your in laws, you have to be in control of your energy
Yeah.
because your energy speaks more than your intelligence. It speaks more than your connections. It speaks more than anything. Your energy is leading the conversation before you ever open your mouth. And if you are just constantly checking things off on your to-do list, looking at your phone, getting buried under comparison and obligations and text messages, I guarantee you when you walk into the room, your energy is not selling you in any way.
Yeah. 100%.
And so it's like,
Sure.
if you want that life, you have to be in control of your energy, which means you have to find the moments or create the moments to do it.
Yeah.
Even as a busy mom, which, like, is there a busier person in this world than, like, a mother right now? Probably not.
Mhm.
So if we can
Probably
do
not.
it, and I'm doing it, so if we can do it, anybody can do this. It's sort of, funny, but I always say this is like a geopolitical issue because
Mhm.
you might think, "Oh, this is just a small thing, like, girls wanna have fun, okay, blah, blah, blah." I'm sorry, but if we can get more people to control their energy, energy is contagious. Bad energy, you walk into the room and someone is sucking the energy out, you feel that and your energy blah. But you walk into a room with someone whose energy is keyed in, they're with you, they really see you, they engage with you, they're curious, they're conversating, they're, creating moments of joy. You get that. Imagine what would happen if all of us listening to this podcast right now said, "I am going to take control of my energy. And I'm going to focus on how I show up for my family, for my work, for my community, for my church, for my school." And then you start showing up with good energy. The ripple effects of that would change the world. It
Yeah.
really will. And so that's the mission of the Good Energy Club now. It's not just a keynote. I've created a club ecosystem around it because I want to change the world. It's a big, hairy, audacious goal. But this is not just a cute little thing moms can do on the side. This is a world changing issue. We're going to show the next generation how you show up. And it is not by sitting in a waiting room on your phone, telling your kid, don't be an iPad kid. I'm sorry. Excuse me, ma'am, you're on your phone. What are they gonna do?
Mhm.
We are gonna say, "Let's play two truths and a lie while we sit here." We're gonna model what building good energy looks like.
Yeah, I love that. One way that I have done those kinds of things in my life of creating joy and fun is I have a playlist that's just called fun. And if I'm feeling like in a mood and don't want to be in that mood, I will bust out that playlist or even just one song and just like dance and
Yes.
look like a ridiculous fool, maybe, but I'll close my blinds, whatever, but just dance. And actually, my kids and I used to do that when someone would be sad or going through something. We would just say dance party. And the three of us, we had a specific song, Downtown by Macklemore.
Yes.
And we would just blast it and we would dance and jump up and down. And it was exactly after we did that. And when I think about that, we were doing that system that you just talked about, your
Mhm.
spark system. We did
Yes.
all three of those things and our energy changed and shifted, and it wasn't like this forced, like, "Oh, we're gonna all be positive." It was literally by doing those things, and I didn't even think about that that is exactly your system. It was like a magic wand went over us, and we were all of a
Yes.
sudden showed up differently.
You're absolutely right, Faith. It is a magic wand, and music is such a gateway to all of these things. And there's actually proven studies that say if you listen to and sing the words to a song you know by heart, you can elevate your mood. Okay. So this works. I love it. Everything you're saying. It's like find the music that brings you joy. For many of us, it's like the music we listened to when we were in like junior high, high school. There's like literal science behind this.
Yes.
The way your brain operates, like those songs like just never leave your brain. They like make you so happy. And so it's like play the music that makes you happy and the dance parties. I do the same thing with my kids now. When we're feeling bad,
Mm.
it's like, let's turn on this song. And I actually have created a Good Energy Club playlist where we have been putting all the songs that just like the minute you hear it, you're like, yes, let's go. And what a powerful tool that we all have at our disposal at any point in time.
Yeah. Yep. I love it. 'Cause it doesn't have to be hard. I think sometimes we think, like, it has to be this big elaborate thing, but, like, one song, that's, like, 2 minutes.
Exactly. And everything in the Good Energy Club, because this is a keynote I have created, very easy, like, here's what you should do to do these things. For joy, exactly right. Like, listen to a song, dance, play a minute to win it game. Like, these are not hard things. For connection, it's like, can you just reach out to someone? Can you, right? Go talk to your neighbor. And last night I needed tinfoil. My instinct was to order it from Target and go get it. No, I have literal
Mhm.
neighbors. I just texted them, "Can I borrow like a whole sheet of tinfoil?" Of course. The connection there, right? I use the app Marco Polo. Have you ever heard of Marco Polo?
Yes. Love it.
I love it too because I always describe it to people as like a FaceTime voicemail. You're recording a video with video and audio, and it saves it for whoever's gonna watch it for when it's convenient for them, then they watch it and they can respond back. So it's just these little, like, videos back and forth. What a way to connect. It has Marco Polo I've been using for years now, and I am closer to some of my best friends who live in Texas, Colorado, Wisconsin. I'm closer to them now than I was when they lived in town. And we're all busy mothers. Like, we are all multiple children, running around, working, doing all the things. But because we have Marco Polo, we actually talk to each other about the normal everyday things, right? Someone's like, "Oh, I washed this shirt and it shrank. Can you tell?" That is the
Mhm.
stuff that you lose when you become a mother. Like you're living in
Mhm.
your own house, you're with your own people, you're in charge of it. All of a sudden, you get that back with Marco Polo, a connection.
Yeah.
And then, like, with presents, what we talk about is it is not complicated, but it is not easy. I talk about your phone needs a home in your house. Where does your phone live? Not on your person. Charge it away from your bed at night, right? Get a real alarm clock. When you're out in public, we talk about the pocket pause. To have your phone out when you're sitting across from someone having lunch or drinks, this just says, "Hi, I'm just gonna look at this anytime it does anything. So you are not my first priority, whatever happening here is." The pocket pause is you just put it away. Put it out of sight. You do not need to see everything. Like, give your person you're with, I don't know, the 30 minutes that you've set aside to be with them and see how that presence impacts that. So, everything inside of this, it's like the most simple back to basics things, but we've all kind of lose it. And it's like if you just get back to it, just do something around presence, connection, and joy. Not hard, not complicated. Don't make it big and fancy. It is cheap. It is easy. You just have to do it, and you will see your energy lift.
Yeah. I started doing this kind of something similar where when I go out to dinner with somebody, or I was like last night, I was at my supper club, I put my phone on airplane mode.
Mm,
And it doesn't work if you're somewhere where you're connected to the Wi Fi, I found out, because at least like with an iPhone, your messages still come through. But if you are not connected to Wi Fi and you put your phone in airplane mode, it's kind of that kind of pocket pause, because I found that same thing. I'm like, how rude is this that I am like interacting with my phone when I am like with people?
yeah, and I think I love that. I think that's a great idea. I might take that from you. And I just,
Yeah,
like,
feel free.
cannot I'm at the stage of motherhood where my kids are still little, they still love me so much, I'm, like, their favorite person, but they're really capable, and I'm thinking constantly about what messages are they seeing from me, from my husband, from the world, and it's, like,
Yeah.
makes me sick to my stomach sometimes because we are addicted to our phones. We're always on it,
Yeah.
like, I talk about the dentist office because I went to the dentist a month ago, and the waiting room was really full. There was probably, like, 7 people in a small waiting room. All of the grown-ups had their phones out, and one mom was sitting there and, like, no shade to her, I get it, but she had probably, like, a 5-year-old with her. She was on her phone, but he was just sitting there. Like, he is sitting in a waiting room looking at
Mhm.
every single person that's on their phone. But, like, "Oh, no, a child couldn't be on their phone." Like, what? Why do you think they want it so bad?
Right.
That's all that we're paying attention to. No, not one person in that waiting room was even smiling at that little boy. Everyone was
Yeah.
just looking at their phone. I'm, like, afraid. I'm afraid for what this is doing, and so I just think, like, it is so important that whether you have kids or not, you need to be aware that, like, we are teaching the next generation your whole existence is in your phone. And maybe someday humans will evolve to where our brains can handle that, but it's not gonna be for a long time. Evolution takes a long, long time. So us, our children, our grandchildren, probably our grandchildren are not gonna evolve to be like phone technology people, like, VR headsets attached to our faces.
Right.
So we've got some work to do if we wanna have, like, successful generations moving past this.
Yeah. I love that. Before we wrap up, I ask every guest the same three questions. So I'll ask that, and then we'll kind of talk about after that how to connect with you. The first one is, what is something supporting your real life really well right now?
Yeah, I think what's supporting my real life really well right now is the mindset of "and." So I can be happy and frustrated. I can be
Mhm.
present and distracted. It helps me remembering it can be both because I think as women, as a mother, as a business owner, as a wife, as a friend, as a daughter, I have so many roles that I play, and they all have different levels every day of, like, satisfaction and need and all these things. So, it's remembering that when I check in with myself, "How am I doing?" I can be, like, really happy in my friendships and, like, really struggling with one of my children. And I don't have to be like, "I'm all happy all the time," or "Everything is terrible." It's like, "No, this is going well, and this other thing is really hard." And that just helps my mindset because I think probably like many people, my mindset can be the hardest thing to combat if I am struggling. And so it's living in the and. Like, this can be both. I can show up really well here and, admit that I failed here.
Mhm. Yeah, that's 2 things can be true at one time is so powerful. I
Yeah.
love that. Okay, the second one is what is something you're currently learning or noticing about yourself?
Yeah, great question. I think the thing that I am currently learning or noticing about myself is, and I think it's funny because I feel like how many times do I have to learn this lesson? But it's I do so much better when I focus on myself. And I know as a mother, it's like so hard to say because there's a lot of rhetoric out there that says, yeah, focus on yourself. But there's so much messaging that really feels against that. Like, okay, I've got 3 kids, I've got a husband, I've got a house, I've got a business, I've got parents, like all of these things I should be focusing on. And I know, like a lot of women, like I can handle it. I can handle literal a shit storm.
Mhm.
Someone needs to have less sleep, it'll be me, I'll be fine. Like, I have high responsibility, so I can take everything and I know I'll survive. I can show up and do it and probably do it well even with no sleep or no help or no, whatever. But that eventually, like, grinds me down. And in the Good Energy Club, I talk a lot about growing, not grinding. Like, there's especially as a business owner, it's like, "Grind, grind, you need to grind, hustle." Do more. And I'm sorry, no, like, grinding is literally like taking a rock and turning it into powder and dust. I'm not really trying to, like, make myself smaller. I'm trying to, like, grow and make myself big, beautiful, and shiny. So why would I
Mm.
sit here and grind myself down? And so it's like, okay, what do I need to do to grow? Well, like, I need, like, me. And in this season, it's like prioritizing the things that feel good, and for me, it's, like, a lot of connection with other female friends, but that is a hard thing to get in a busy season, so it's, like, I have to prioritize it. So I have a book club that meets every month, and I go to that. Everyone in my family knows that's my priority is my book club. We actually even went on a trip, the first time ever. We've been meeting for 3 or 4 years, and we went to the Northeast and stayed in a really awesome beach house and just, like, hung out. And it was so good for my soul, and of course, it was so inconvenient, and I did it anyways, and it's thinking, "Okay, I haven't seen this friend in so long. How can I reach out to them to see, 'Hey, do you wanna stop by? Hey, do you wanna get your our families together for dinner on Saturday?'" And it's just like, I have to think about how do I plan time to be with the people that really fill me up because that makes me better. And it is not selfish. It is actually the thing that helps me grow. So I don't need to
Mhm.
grind and always take the responsibility of everything. I want to grow and I want to glow. And to do that, I need to feed in to the things that make me feel that way. And so I feel like this is a lesson I'm going to have to learn for the rest of my life because I know it. And yet, in seasons, I still think I'll just grind myself to a pulp. And then it's like,
Right.
okay, that's not working.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is like we have to constantly program or reprogram ourselves when those voices of just do more, just hustle, that grinding, yeah, can be really loud. And yeah, coming back to that centering of no, I have to take care of myself so I can care for others, other people, other experiences in my life.
Hmm.
Yeah, I love that. Well, this podcast is called the Love Your Real Life podcast. And so, what does loving your real life look like or mean to you?
I think that loving my real life means to me knowing who is in my real life that I need to love.
Mm,
Like connection is such a big part of things. And again, it's easy to get into the habit of just doing the to-do list that you forget about the
Mhm.
people. And so it's like, who needs me? Who do I need to love? Who do I need to see? Who do I need to spend time with? That is the essence of what makes me feel alive. And, honestly, like even the science and data, I'm a facilitator and coach at heart. There's the longest running Harvard study. It's been going on for
Mhm.
over 80 years. They wanted to find out what makes a meaningful, happy life. And the conclusion, there's a book called The Good Life, which is great because we live in Nebraska, so very symbiotic. But The Good Life, in the book, they talk about all the research. I highly recommend it if you like this sort of thing. But it came down to the quality of relationships. The quality of your
Mm.
relationships are the thing. It is the thing that will impact how good your life is. On your deathbed, the thing that is gonna make you feel most fulfilled is the quality of your relationships. It's not money, it's not health, it's not your exercise routine, it's not your vacations. I mean, all that stuff can be great, but it is the quality of your relationships. So for me, it's, am I focusing on the right relationships and doing the things that I need to do to bring quality to those?
Yeah, I love that. Well, thank you so much, Sarah. Let's talk about because I just signed up for your Substack this week and I am loving it. And so I want you to share all the ways that people can connect with you and learn more about what you do.
Well, as much as I like to be present, I am all over the internet, so hold on to your horses. So you can always email me at sarah@wearecollinsco.com. My website for my Collins Collective website is wearecollinsco.com. You can find us there. For the Good Energy Club, if you go to thegoodenergy.club, you can access our website. We are also on Substack at the Good Energy Club. If you sign up for the Substack and it's free, there is a paid tier. And I always tell people this is just because this is a new club we're trying to get off the ground. So if people want to pay, it's like $5 a month or $50 a year. It doesn't unlock anything special. It just is a way to support the movement because we want more people to come into this. And so we're hoping to continue to grow what we offer. But if you do the free, you get just as much access as if you pay $5 a month. And so we send out the Sunday Spark. So this is an email that ends up in your inbox every Sunday at 6 p.m. And there's usually a story, a lesson, or a tip. And then the Power of Three, which is a way to engage in the Good Energy Club through joy, connection, or presence to take action on it, some ideas for your week ahead. And we always tell people just pick one, small, tiny steps. What is one thing you could do this week to impact your good energy? And so we give tips on that. And we also have merch now. The merch is new. We're so excited. So if you want a t-shirt or a hat or a sticker, we've got that on our thegoodenergy.club in the shop, which more to come on that. We also, if you're in Lincoln, Nebraska, we host Good Energy Club office hours the third Friday of every month. So I don't know when this episode will come out, but this coming Friday, which is June 19th, we have one. We usually are at the chocolate season from 9:30 to 11:30, and it is an open invite to anyone. We are just there to connect with people, and so you can come, get a coffee, get a hot chocolate, buy a piece of chocolate, and sit down. You never know who's gonna show up. You don't even need to sign up. The point of office hours is just an open invitation. It is taking action. And again, usually our phones are put away and sometimes we have little games or cards. I actually had this gal from Australia who runs a similar company called it's like Happiness at Work. She found me on the internet with the Good Energy Club and she actually owns these I Connect cards. And she sent me
Oh.
2 free boxes all the way from Australia to have at office hours. And they're just these little question cards to like help trigger conversations. So when I go to office hours now in person, I'm going to be bringing these with me as a way to spur some fun and some connection and discussion. So we do those. And then we also do virtual office hours. So obviously, we've got people in the Good Energy Club from all around the world. So if you would like to join us virtually, I know it's like not as good or fun. But the last Friday of every month, we do virtual office hours from 10 to 11 Central Time. and we just get on a call. Again, just pop in if you can. We're just like sharing wins of good energy. We're playing little games. Like, it's not cringy, I promise you. It is just like other people showing up saying, like, yeah, you know what? I want to show up with good energy too. And the way we do that is together and with some
Yeah.
accountability can help. So, those are some of the things that we have in store. You can also follow us on Instagram, the Good Energy
Mhm.
_ club. You can follow us on TikTok, the Good Energy _ club. I am doing so many embarrassing dances and sing-alongs on TikTok. So please do not comment on anything if you see me in person. You can comment on TikTok, but if you see me in person, do not want to hear about my TikTok performances, okay?
I love it. Well, and then we will be doing Sarah's gonna come on for my workshop in July. We'll be doing the end of July, and we'll be talking more about the good energy. It's gonna be really cool, so you can get a ticket for that. I'll have those links, all of Sarah's links, tickets for our workshop we're gonna do together, all in the show notes as well. So I'm excited about that coming up too. So
Yes,
thank
me
you so much for
too.
your time today, Sarah. This has been so fun, and I feel like my energy has lifted just being around you. So thank you
Ugh,
so much for sharing.
of course. Thank you for doing your podcast and everything that you offer the world. And you have such great energy, Faith. Every time I'm around you, you bring like a calming, peaceful energy, which is great to my sort of chaotic energy. And that's the thing about good energy. It doesn't have to look like mine. We just have to have it, and you have it too. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you so much for listening to the Love Your Real Life podcast. I hope that today's episode was just what you needed. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. And if you're looking for more support, check out the show notes for how to connect. Remember, no matter what your story holds, you are worthy of living a life that you love. Talk to you soon.